Good evening, everybody. It's Laura Donnelly from Dancing with Ease, Body Brain Balance. And I'd like to welcome you to the healing path. But my sign did the wrong thing again, but whatever. Today, actually, we can just laugh about the fact that my sign did the wrong thing because today we're talking about laughter and just all kinds of things about laughter and how laughter can change your life. And one of the reasons that I started these conversations, I think one of the main reasons, hi Sandy, how are you? Is I wanted to spend time with a lot of my good friends who do so many amazing things. So this has been a really joyful experience for me. And I wanted to share the work that these people do with a broader audience. But the other thing about this that I think is really important, especially at this time when everything is up and down and people are stressed by the virus, they're stressed by changes in their lives. Even the smallest thing we can do for ourselves, for self-healing, is really important. And I started thinking about this, in March sometime. But as it evolved, I realized that my basic philosophy is that all healing starts with self-healing. And then we can expand that out into the world. And so the guests I bring also have a resonance with this idea, which is, of course, why we get along, why we're friends, why they would say they would want to be on my talking show. So it's all kind of pretty fun. But today, my guest is Erica Buchholtz, and I'm going to bring her onto the broadcast, and she'll tell you a little bit more about herself.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. It's always so fun.
It is.
So I'm Erica. I call myself a happiness expert because that's what I'm seeking all of the time. So just trying to find new ways of helping people feel better and feel happier and feel lighter and not to have that heavy stress so much. So a little bit about me. I have a PhD in developmental psychology, which I don't use that much anymore because, I did all the things I thought I was supposed to do. And then I turned to coaching because I really like helping other people feel better too. And I teach laughter yoga, which is so silly and fun and like some of the best stuff that I do during the day, which is just intentionally laughing to feel better. So.
How did you well, okay, there's two things. Probably there's 15 things, but
That's fine.
One is, how did you come across laughter yoga?
I was in a job that was really, really stressful. And I think honestly, what I did one day was I Googled how to feel better right now. And I came across some article with a bunch of tips in it. And one of them said, take a laughter yoga class. And I was like, what is laughter yoga? Am I doing downward dog and giggling? What's going on? And so I researched it more. And it's just laughing, just laugh. You can pretend to laugh, it can be fake, and your stress hormones go down. And I said, no, this cannot possibly be real. So I spent way too much time researching it. And when I realized it was true and that there was a training really close to my house, I called my sister and I said, you're coming with me. We're going to go be laughter yoga teachers. And she's like, okay. So we went to a certification. And it was 2 days of learning laughter games and how to bring laughter into your life and how to use that to truly help people have less stress and to create daily practices to help them feel better. So it came out of my own need. But it fits me well. I'm a quick to giggle kind of person. And it's always in you. And I was made fun of for my laugh as a kid because it's so ridiculous and loud and over the top. So I figured, hey, if I can use this, kind of use my funny laugh to help other people laugh, the more the better, right? So yeah.
Well, what I love about that is that I think that this is a lot how healing works. We need something and we go searching for it. And And in that search, we discover things we're really good at that we would never have come across if we hadn't started the original search in the first place. And like you were just looking to feel better at work. You weren't looking to do something different with your life. You weren't looking to change careers necessarily.
Yeah.
But all of that came about in a kind of magical way, right?
Oh, yeah. Who would have known that people would have given me money to laugh with them, right? Like, it sounds so funny, right? But it like changes everything. And so it's so worth it. Like, it's fun.
No,
No.
I think it's great. Well, so the other thing I was going to say is in terms of developmental psychology, although you are not working in that field, do you think that informs a lot of what you do and underlies a lot of your work? So that I think that's another thing. It is that, and you said too, I got this degree and I was doing all the things I was supposed to do, and I was really stressed out.
Yeah. That's accurate.
Well, I say when you
Yeah.
when you aren't there anymore, that laughter just erupts out of you, and that's a sign. I use that kind of a sign for myself when I have made a good decision. I can't usually get there before I have made the decision, but after I have made the decision, when I look back and I'm like, I'm so glad I'm not there anymore, and I just laugh.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow.
Like, validates that decision you just made, right? Like, cemented in, this was right for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that sometimes it's very easy to discount the power of laughing. And I'm thinking back, I had another guest, Esther, and she talked about breathing, which is also part of a yoga practice. And I sort of think that the yoga part of the laughter yoga is about maybe creating a practice.
You got it. You got it.
You work that you really actually do something to change how you are, but you do something physical, and in the physical shifting, the mental part follows along.
Yeah, absolutely. It helps you tap into a different part of yourself, right? Especially if you're like, if you've attached onto something very serious, like my job has to be very professional, or I have to show up a certain way as a parent, or the whole world is experiencing a terrible virus right now, right? If you attach on very serious, it's really hard to feel good, right? But if you can pretend to laugh, not at the circumstance, right? You're not laughing that you have a terrible job, right? But if you force yourself to just get into a lighter mindset, you don't take it in the same way. So your job hasn't changed at all, but you don't feel as bad about it. You're able to remember, but at least my coworkers aren't the worst, right? Or my boss says stupid stuff, and that's kind of funny, right? Like, I don't know how they even make it out the grocery store, right? Like, it's just like you can tap into things that help you feel better. Plus, it actually, like, getting in and doing fake laughter, like, activates your right hemisphere, which is really good for creativity. And so you can then be even better in your creative pursuits, whatever those happen to be. You can solve problems better. You can, like, it's like it's connecting different parts of your body. Like, when you're solving something, you're not just doing it from the brain anymore. You can use your whole body. You can use past experiences in a way that opens up that doesn't happen unless you activate that right hemisphere. It's wild.
So, see, that's really cool. That's really important. And I was thinking about it. My friend Sandy, who's watches often, she's been doing TikTok videos with her granddaughter.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're great, and I'm like, what a grandma? Because then I think about my grandma. Oh, she would not. Now, she did buy me a bikini, Like she bought, like I was going to sew something. So she bought me a pattern for bikini and she helped me sew the bikini. Now that was pretty radical for my grandma.
Perfect. That's awesome.
But doing a TikTok video and putting it on Facebook, no, my grandma would not have done that.
I love it. You really do. You find your space, right? You really do.
You do. So
Oh,
let me think if there's something else
I
here.
love that.
So we have that. We have the right hemisphere of the brain. We have the whole body shifting. Maybe we should just do a simple short. Do you have a simple short laughter exercise
Sure.
that we could do? I mean, we've already been laughing, you and me, because
I know.
that's how we are.
Fabulous.
But this would be something that would let people know what this was, so that if they wanted to check out laughter yoga, and if they live in in a rural place or far away from people, are there laughter yoga classes online? I think you're teaching some online, aren't you?
Yeah, I teach one every Tuesday at noon. It's just over Zoom, so you can like go to the website, get the link, and just come in anytime. There's no like, I don't know, attendance or anything. So people just come in. I never know who's going to be there. It's exciting. So yeah, and there's so many laughter teachers who are doing it online now too. People did it some before like COVID, but like now, like you can find whatever flavor of laughter yoga you really like. There's really like calm laughter yoga. There's like super wild laughter yoga. It's the whole range. People add in mindfulness, people add in movement, so you can find whatever fits you well. One that I like to do for stress is what I can show you guys now. And this is so nice because you can do it anywhere, anytime. You don't have to be serious about it. It's super easy. Okay, so just take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, deep breath in, hold it, hold it, hold it. Okay, giggle it out.
That's pretty funny.
And that's all to it. That's all there is. That's all you gotta do. And just take a deep breath.
That's so nice.
And you can already feel your shoulders go down. You feel your heart rate takes a little bit slower to get there, right? Like you can feel more grounded and connected. And that's something you can do anywhere, anytime. You can do it in the bathroom if you're worried about people seeing you. Like I used to do that one at work, like in my office, like just, and it would help. And it made other people come in and be like, "What are you doing over there?"
What are you laughing at?
I learned this thing, so and they would do it. And it's fun.
And then everybody's laughing. Well, and it seems to me now this is interesting because I just did a talk with a friend on gratitude, and it seems to me that laughter is also catching. You know, like when you start laughing, the other person laughs, and
Yes.
it spreads, and it spreads. But I was thinking too, when I was exhaling and giggling, I felt my lungs squishing out the air in a different way.
Yeah.
So
That's one of the main things. And so laughter yoga was created by a doctor in India in the 90s. And so he's done like there's so many studies as to why this is healthy. Plus like common sense, you can tell it feels good. But that's one of the big pieces about it. And that's where the yoga part comes in, is all the deep breathing that you wind up doing. And you expel all the old air out of the bottom of your lungs that just winds up getting stagnant in there. With all of this, you push it all out and you refill your body with really good oxygen. And so, yeah, like I love that you said that because it's true. It just refills you up and it gets your blood moving. And it's good. Especially if you're sitting all day.
I know you have a son. Does he do this with you sometimes?
He does. He's so good. Kids are so good at this. Right?
So if people have their kids at home and they're doing homeschooling and they're getting kind of like,
yep,
they could just jump up and do a couple of laughter yoga exercises.
Yeah, you've got it.
out having to, get out a jump rope or any equipment because
Mhm.
it's
Yep.
just you and your
Yep. You
breath
just
and your laugh.
yeah. And you can't I mean, making up a laughter yoga game is so easy. Like you can watch videos, there's a bunch of YouTube videos of different games. But ultimately, it's just do something and then laugh. It's not any more complicated, right? You could put your finger on your nose and laugh, right? Look, my finger's on my nose.
Well, and you did in just a minute, you fake laughing, and then suddenly you start real laughing.
Yes, you got it.
I, gue- I guess it's catching inside yourself.
Indeed, it is. Your body doesn't know the difference, right? So you can do just fake laughter. You can never even hit authentic, genuine laughter. And your body doesn't know. Like your body still thinks you're laughing. So it still does all the stuff and lowers cortisol. Like
All the
it gets
chemical stuff.
everything rejiggered and you're good. You can fake it the entire time, right? And and kids are so good. They make up games so easy, right? You can pick an animal and then laugh the way that animal would do. Or
Oh,
let's have
like a
a laughing.
hyena.
Yes, how would a hyena laugh?
Yeah, I think they're noisy. And oh, that's cool. Oh, fun.
And you
My
can't do
friend,
it wrong. Oh, go ahead.
right, right, because you're laughing. So how can you do it wrong? And if you make a mistake and you laugh, then you're laughing, and so you did it right.
Yes.
My friend Alice just tuned in, and she has two boys.
Oh.
So I think, Alice, we were talking about how when you're doing homeschooling, you can just take a little break and you don't have to go far away, but you can just do a couple of silly laughter yoga exercises. And Erica, you're East Coast time? Yes.
Yeah, you got it.
Alice is in the East Coast too, and so she does a noontime Tuesdays.
Yep, Tuesday at noon. You got it.
Brain. Oh, the brain is
Amazing.
like a steel trap here. Not. Which is it's a pretty bad image, isn't it? Like, boom. Oh.
Oh, I love it.
So unless Alice is home already, she's lives on the East Coast too, and she's been visiting in Chicago, which is near where Sandy is in Detroit. Unless she's home already, you guys could do laughter breaks in the car.
Oh yeah.
Because my memory of having kids in the car is they get kind of bored, they get kind of pushy, they get kind of shovey, and so something like this, you know, just playful, and like you said, you can't really do it wrong.
No, not at all. Right? There's like all these like social rules that we have about laughter as adults, right? You can
Oh
only
yeah,
laugh
like you have to cover your face. Oh.
Mhm. You can only laugh for so long. Like you can't be the last one laughing. Otherwise, people look at you funny. You have to laugh in the appropriate place. Like you can't laugh too loud, like in the grocery store or something. Like there's all these rules about it. And in laughter yoga, you get to get rid of all of them. You can be the last one laughing. You can be louder than everybody else. You can be quieter than everyone else. And that's fine. It doesn't matter. You don't even have to laugh in a laughter yoga class. You can watch it happen and still get stress relief because your body likes when other people are laughing. So just show up. If you're an introvert and it feels way too awkward, no biggie. Like you could just watch it and you still are good. So it's nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What I was thinking, you made me think of something. I thought of something. Let's see if I can pull it back out of that steel trap. No, see now once you start this, you start being really funny, Well, that would be great for kids though, like if they're in a bad mood and you have them pull the bad mood out of their head, and just, pull that all out. It's like ugly, dirty, yucky string. And I didn't think about that. That's a cool idea.
I have a 5-year-old, and so the potty is still really funny. And so a lot of times we'll like take out his crankies and we'll put him in the potty and flush him down. He thinks that's funny. So we go for it.
I think it's great. They're getting rid of the waste, right?
Yeah, get rid of it. We don't need that anymore. Like, it's fine. We toss it out the window. Sometimes in the car, I'll open all the windows all the way down and say, get rid of them, throw them out. And so we'll put the windows up. Something to be playful and do a shift. Yeah.
That's the other thing, making a shift. I think that actually laughing. Well, I remember when I was younger, sillier, but I remember like being in college and laughing until I cried and laughing until my ribs hurt. And, and it was just, well, actually I did that not too long ago.
Good.
But what you said is true too. Like being in a restaurant, and something is funny and you just want to laugh, but then the whole restaurant gets quiet, because everybody wants to know what was so funny.
Yep.
The other thing is like being at a theater. Now this is going to sound funny, but if you've been practicing laughter yoga, you can help the audience when a play is funny. Yes. Because sometimes people are afraid to laugh at the funniest things because they're at the theater, they must be serious.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny. What they just said was really funny.
And it's supposed to. That's actually part of the experience, is to engage in that way. It's so funny you said that. I was actually earlier thinking about one time I was in college and there was a comedian doing a stand-up act and everyone was like afraid to laugh because they didn't know if he was funny enough to make an out loud laugh. And I was like, what is happening here? Like, I was so like taken aback. It's a comedian. He's trying to get us to laugh. Why would you hold back? Like, so yeah, social rules are weird. Like, a lot of weird ones out there.
Well, I hadn't even thought about the social rules about laughing, and like I have some Chinese friends, and they cover their mouths when they smile because for them they were taught it was not nice to show your teeth. Mm-hmm. And this is a funny story. I'll tell you this funny story. Then we can see if you have something else you want to share with people. Is my husband had this little parakeet that learned to talk. And he was a little tiny guy, right? Little tiny guy, blue guy. And my husband's voice is really deep. So when the bird would say something that my husband had said over and over and he had memorized, he'd have this real gravelly voice, and he would, and one of the things he said, which we never figured out, is he would go, "The Marquise told me so." And we're going, the Marquise? Who are the Marquise, bird? But the bird made us laugh all the time, right? And
funny phrase.
But he learned to laugh like I laugh.
Oh my god!
So I would go, I would laugh, but he put it together. So my husband's always saying, "Well, you'll like this." So the bird would go, "You'll like this."
Oh my god.
So we had the best time, laughing at this parakeet. Now, what did Alice say? Oh, she had an injury. And so when she had an injury to her mouth, she covered her mouth, and then it was difficult. Yeah. Well, that's great, Alice. I never knew that because you don't do that anymore. You smile a lot.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's funny. Like I've done laughter yoga with a lot of different like age groups too. And like high schoolers sometimes are like slow to ease in, and I thought it would be really hard for middle schoolers because they're like so worried about what other people might think of them. But they're just right at that age where they still want to have fun, so you can break through it pretty quickly. High schoolers are harder to kind of like get them to relax enough to kind of go for it. But then once you hit college age and adult, like people are like, I just want to laugh more. It's fine. Like, let's do this. And so then it's pretty easy.
Did somebody call you for a senior center to teach one at a senior center? That I thought
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh, it's so good because you can do so many catered to the group that you're with. And like there are a lot of laughter yoga instructors who do for like memory care in particular, tends to just kind of lighten their whole rest of their day. And so they see so much great results with that too. So yeah,
So
so
if
fun.
you do your own practice, do you have things that
Mhm.
you put into it? Like do you try to give yourself a little laugh before breakfast?
Mhm. Yeah.
Sort
So
of like
we
a little stretch?
Yeah, I do. I'm a very visual person, so we put like post-its all around the house, like just like saying funny things or a nice quote that we like, and those are the things that I need to like remind me through the day, like this is not so serious. Like this is not so serious. And honestly, I use my son's whine as a reminder. Like if he's whining, this is pretty silly. Like it's making me annoyed, but like whatever he's complaining about is probably not that big of a deal. And if I make it a big deal, we get into a fight. And if I lighten it up, he's like, "You're right, it is silly," and he's easy. And then we move on, and then everything is okay. So he's learning too. Like when you have a lot of stress, you can get angry and annoyed, or you can choose to giggle, and then you get to do what you want much faster. Like so,
Wow, that's pretty great.
yeah, it's been helpful. It really has. Before I knew this, it was a lot harder, but now it's a lot easier around here.
Well, I'm
Oh,
so glad. And I'm so glad that you had the time to share about your practice and some of the things.
yeah.
Um, I have links. Erica gave me links, which I'll put in the description for to for to. I love English. It is my first language. Not. Um, no, no, no. Seriously, pictures are my first language, and so
Yep.
I am trying to use too many words all the time. But I'll have the links. You can find her website. You can find the access to her class that she does on Tuesdays. She is in the Healing Path group, so that if you
Mhm.
have questions, if you want to check in with her, she's a new friend for me in 2020,
Oh my
a
gosh,
COVID
right?
friend. Well, wonder how many other
I
people have
like
new
it.
COVID friends that
I
they
know,
made.
right? I know. Oh, it's good. It's good stuff.
This is fun. It's so good to see you again. And a lot of times when I do these, people are we're talking, they're kind of serious, and I'm trying not to look too, too funny. Um, but then when I put up the video, I want a picture of people laughing. I don't think we're going to have any trouble finding a
Yeah.
picture of us laughing.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be okay.
So
So funny.
thank you so
Oh
much,
my
Erica.
no, thank you so much. I am so glad. I love talking about this stuff. So thank you
And
for giving us a chance to.
yeah, and it's just like this, like a buoyant half hour.
Yes,
So
thanks, right?
it was
Good.
really, really fun. And like I said, this will be in the Healing Path. Erica's in the Healing Path. So if you have questions that are private, you have private questions about laughing, which since we all laugh, but hey,
But real, it's true. Yeah.
well, you know what else I'm thinking? I just came to thought came to my mind about at funerals. A lot of times at the dinner after the funeral, people will tell stories about the person that passed away. And a lot of times they remember funny stories and
Yeah.
how healing that is to laugh with your family, even in a time of loss.
Yeah.
It just
Absolutely.
really it brings you together, and it brings you together to remember a happier time and to replace, the sadness. You still feel sad. And like you said, you don't not feel
Mhm.
sad, but you remember that you can feel happy and sad at the same time,
Yeah.
which
Absolutely.
is I think it was really important for me as I was going on my own path to realize that I didn't have to feel one way,
Yeah.
that I could be happy and sad. I could I could be multiple kinds of feelings at one time.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so this was just lovely and joyful. So I thank you so much, Erica. And
Thank you.
this will be up. And if you guys who are watching know somebody who could stand a little bit of a laugh, go ahead and share the video with them.